Hello and welcome to FC25 and welcome to the Arsenal career mode where we are going to be taking over the job with Mikel Arteta and hopefully we're going to be taking Arsenal to Champions League glory, the Premier League glory, and hopefully we're going to have a fun time doing it. It says we already start off with a transfer budget of 136 million with this Arsenal team. It won't matter for the first transfer window. We're going to go ahead and disable it. We're going to try to keep this career mode as realistic as possible, even though obviously Arsenal are already an extremely good team. And I'm sure you guys have seen some of these settings, so we're going to go ahead and quickly go through them. So we'll disable the first transfer window. As far as scouting, we'll leave it on. Training plans, we'll leave it on as normal. We're going to start off on the difficulty level with legendary difficulty, and we are going to play simulation. No financial takeover and board expectations. We're going to go with no sacking for now. Actually, we're just going to go with lenient. I doubt we're going to get sacked, but we don't want to if there's an option to. Like I said, we're going to start off on Legendary. We might up it to Ultimate Difficulty. We played on Ultimate Difficulty a lot in FC24, so we'll have to see. And we'll leave it 5-minute halves for now. Youth tournaments are something that I'm going to be very interested in, but for now, we're only going to play those very sparingly. I mean, in this Arsenal career mode, we might not play them at all, to be honest with you. But if we do another career mode with maybe a lesser team, a long-term rebuild, we'll look into it. I really appreciate that EA went ahead this year and already input a gameplay type that makes it slower, it makes it more realistic. We're going to go ahead and play on simulation. We're going to have wind effects on high. Hopefully it does actually affect the game. But this setting is going to be interesting. As you can see, it already greatly affects speed, shot error, pass error, things like that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. Injury frequency is turned up and severity is turned down. Last year there was an issue with that. Kind of, so we'll have to see how it goes. When it comes to training plans, you can set your training plan recovery rates to default, light, realistic. I kind of want to go with realistic, but I think we're going to stick with default for now, just so we can play with something we're familiar with. And as far as development of senior players and development of youth players, we're going to leave those on normal as well, just for now. I like the fact that you can still choose between loose and strict for transfer approaches, and I believe negotiations is basically the same thing, but we can't do it since we disabled the first window. I feel like keeping this on loose will make it to where CPU teams will actually negotiate with us a little bit more. Board expectations are going to be lenient. International job offers, definitely going to have off, not too worried about it in this career mode. Competitions, European competitions on, of course. Disabled the financial takeover, and we're going to stick with dollars since I am American. Sorry. Would go with euros and stuff, but dollars makes more sense for me. So let's go ahead and advance. So I guess when you enter career mode, there is no cutscene anymore. Not really sure what's going on there. I do like the new user interface, though. It looks fantastic. I don't know about how I feel about the tweets and stuff that we're going to be seeing on the side of the screen. I mean, it's still kind of cool, I guess, but doesn't really seem like that great of a feature to add. We're going to go ahead and take a look at training plans, which I have seen are slightly different this year. Did not know that this was going to be a new feature, but whenever you click on any of these, you can actually set a threshold for where you want this to be at with any of your players. So like for performance focused, we're going to go ahead and set this as at 60. So if any of our players are below 60 in their sharpness, then they will 100% go onto that training plan. And so we'll set the same thing with energy focus down here as well, except the difference obviously is that energy focused is when your fitness is lower than 60, and whereas performance focused is sharpness lower than 60. And so you can see it's already in effect. We have not changed anything, and all of our players are now on performance focus since their sharpness is lower than 60. So pretty cool feature they've added there. Before we go any further, if you could subscribe to the channel, if you are an Arsenal fan, if you like career mode, if you like FC25, hit that subscribe button for me, hit that like button for me as well. And comment and let me know who your favorite team is, how you feel about the career mode. Let me know who your team is. Mine is the Arsenal. So it's going to be basically the same presets that they had last year with the gegenpressing, counterattack, park the bus, kick and rush, things like that. I think with this team, we're either going to go with tiki-taka or potentially maybe gegenpressing as well. I would say tiki-taka is more of the Arsenal of the past, though. So we're going to go with gegenpressing. Then we're going to hire some coaches real quick. So on to our objectives this year. We did say that they were going to set them to lenient. So, it's not too critical that we get all of these accomplished. But for the youth development, sign one player in the defender position. I believe we'll be able to do that one pretty easily. Brand exposure is to get 10 games with at least one goal scored in away matches this season. Again, I feel like that's very easy. But then sign 3 players born in Asia. I just don't know if that really makes sense for the club. So it hasn't really changed from last year too much. As you can see, it's all basically the same objectives that you would have saw last year. I wish that they would update this just a little bit, but can't complain too much. We've already got some unread emails here that we're going to go through. The Youth Academy report is one that we're going to definitely take a look at here in just a second. We're going to go ahead and get rid of those other two since they're basically just introductory emails. We're going to see if we have any players in our Youth Academy that are potentially going to be good. Doesn't look like we've got a whole lot as of right now. So that is slightly disappointing, but it looks like we have a couple of 14-year-olds that are actually really good, at least could potentially be good in the future. We've only got one player rated in the 60s to start off, but it looks like his potential is pretty terrible. George Graham and Harry Carpenter here down at the bottom look like they could potentially be good in the future, but obviously since they're only 14, I doubt they're even going to make it into this career mode. We're likely going to only do this for 2-3 seasons before we move on to another career mode, maybe 4 if we're really enjoying it. So you have to let me know in the comments down below how you're feeling about this career mode and how you feel about it going forward. It is super nice that they added it to where you can play the youth tournament or you can play with your youth academy players, though. That is definitely a very cool feature. And we are going to go ahead and simulate forward. We got a new message from Martin Odegaard welcoming us to the club, even though we're Mikel Arteta and we've already been here. And without any transfer business to do in this first window, we've already simulated ahead to our preseason tournament invite where we are going to go ahead and choose the American Challenge Cup. Let's go ahead and give our boys a challenge. Let's see what this new email from the Arsenal board is just about that. We've got to face Atletico Madrid, Juventus, and Bayern in our preseason tournament, giving us a good test to see where we're at with this team. Before we go too much further, though, let's go ahead and take a look at the squad. This would be pretty much the 11 that I'd be going with. Odegaard would be playing out on that right side instead of the left. Partey would probably be starting, considering Marino has an injury as of right now. But in this game, obviously, we're going to start Marino instead of Partey. And then, of course, we'd have Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber at the back. We are going to try to train Timber to be a left back, but I know that it's going to take a while. So hopefully that gets fixed in maybe the first update of the game. But we'll have to see. David Raya, I was one of those people that thought, maybe he shouldn't overtake Ramsdale last season at the beginning of the last year. And, I mean, boy, has he proved us wrong. Just saw that game today against Atalanta with that big save. And we've obviously got fantastic backups at pretty much most positions. Maybe in January, we'll bring in a couple of players. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below who you would like me to bring in. I thought there were supposed to be 9 slots for the substitutes bench, and it doesn't look like there is right now. So again, not sure what that's about. The player roles feature and the update to the player roles feature is probably what I'm most excited about for FC 25 this year and for career mode. We've got inside forward for Martinelli and for Saka. Advanced forward for Havertz, playmaker +2 for Odegaard. So sad that he is out for these games. Odegaard, this is the jersey that I'm wearing. It's an Odegaard jersey. I love him so much. Declan Rice, holding midfielder. Gabriel, stopper. Saliba, defender. White is a wing back, and Timber is going to be a false back, which means he's going to go back into midfield when we have the ball. And I just love that that is a feature in FC 25. Sweeper keeper for David Raya. This team, I mean, they are so good. We've got our first fixture coming up here against Juventus in this American Challenge Cup. We're going to simulate through all of the preseason games, but it is going to be nice to see how good we are going to perform against these teams since it is some of the best in the world. I don't know about any of you guys, but I've never really been a fan of using the pre-match training. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for the game itself. So I wish they would take that feature out. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments down below. We're going to go with the best team we can put out just to see how well they perform against this Juventus side. We're going to hit a quick sim real quick, and it is going to be a 3-1 victory. Martinelli opening up the scoring with Saliba behind him. Douglas Luiz scores for them in the 78th minute, but then Saka finishes the game off. Up next, I would love to win this game against Bayern, but we are going to be playing a fully rotated squad and some maybe not quite as good players in there. Ooh, 5-1 loss in a preseason game. And Martin Odegaard with a red card, as well as Alphonso Davies with the red card. That's pretty wild. But of course, Harry Kane with a hat trick. So that, it never ends. Harry Kane is always going to score against Arsenal. And then final preseason game, there is going to be some slight rotation in the squad, but it still should be a victory here against Atletico Madrid. Unfortunately, it isn't, though. 2-2 draw, Saka and Timber getting the goals. Llorente with a brace for Atletico Madrid. So I'll be honest, I already don't know how much I like the automated training plan, so we're going to go ahead and just start setting it manually. We'll have to see how it goes. You let me know in the comments down below, again, how you're feeling about those automated training plans, how you're feeling about a lot of the new changes in career mode this year. All right, so we're heading into our first game. We are going to stick with this lineup for the first game against Wolves, and it looks like we are now able to have 9 subs on the bench, so I guess it was just a preseason tournament thing. So we're going to have the subs bench looking like this. It does slightly worry me that we only have 4 players in the reserves, and that, a couple of them I would never really want to use. I mean, Tierney, he's kind of past his time at Arsenal. I think he's probably going to get sold as soon as he can. And then Lewis Skelly might not be good enough just yet. We do have Nwaneri on the bench. I hate trying to say his name, but he is quite the young player. I'm expecting to use him a lot in this career mode. But I do still think we need some help in midfield and maybe some help up top. I'm really happy that we brought in Raheem Sterling. I don't know how well he's going to perform for the club, but I hope he performs very well. And honestly, it doesn't really matter too much because he is a cheap option. Let's go ahead and hit the press conference before the game, and let's try to up the morale of some of the players. I really like the new morale feature where you're trying to fit it into a certain window. I like that a lot because you don't want your players to get too big-headed and feel like they're just invincible, even though some players at Arsenal probably are.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry.
All right, perfect. Press conference is done. Let's go ahead and get into the game. I know that they brought back the pre-match cutscene, so I'm excited to see that again and to show you the lineups once we get in there. I mean, it truly is beautiful, honestly. I love having the cutscenes back in this game. Not sure why they took them out last year. You guys see our starting lineup. It did look like it was backwards a little bit. Martinelli and Saka were on the wrong sides, but, whatever. Nonetheless, we move. Wolves, they're going to be lining up with Daniel Bentley in goal. We almost signed him, I believe. Arsenal did in the transfer window. Nori, Craig Dawson, Semedo in the back. Cunha up top is definitely going to be the player we have to worry about the most. But besides that, I feel like this should be an easy win. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. Let's get a feel for how this is going to be. All right. Well, one thing I can already tell from the game is how much the players move around the field. I don't necessarily love, I think Martinelli and Saka are kind of too far in, maybe. Ben White, good header down, but Rain at Nori is there. Look out for Ben White again. At Odegaard now. Odegaard looking for Saka through. Saka, oh, good feet. Gonna go ahead and go for the near post shot. Was it deflected? Looks like it was. We're gonna have a corner here. Bukayo Saka swinging it in. A lot of power on that. Gabriel is up, and a good save by Bentley. This time we're gonna look more near post. Can't find Kai Havertz, and they'll get it cleared out. Good play from Wolves right here. Geddes is gonna be taking the shot. Saliba in the way. We're just gonna go out for a corner for Wolves as well. They'll swing this one in. Timber not really able to get there, but Raya comfortably collects that ball. Oh, Marino getting taken out. Referee trying to play advantage. It looks like the wind is at 25 kilometers an hour right now. No card for that challenge. Saka looking over here for Martinelli. Martinelli inside to Kai. Saka was going on the run, but I was a little bit late on it. All right, we got it back. Odegaard looking over the top for Saka. Oof. Didn't love that pass necessarily, but I mean, from what I can say so far about the game is that the gameplay does feel somewhat realistic on this simulation gameplay type, so I'm not mad at it. Ben White having to track back here. It's taking a long time getting back. They're going to find Cunha in the box. Reyne Nori sends it in. Gabriel heads it away, but Cunha gets it back. Great ball in, and a save from Raya. Swinging it in. Timber is up there for it. Odegaard, we're going to get it back. Don't love what I'm doing there necessarily. Ooh, we almost turned the ball over. Ben White sticking with it. Saka will get it out, and we'll reset. They can rise through the channel there. Martinelli's actually by himself for just a moment. Oh, the rebound falls to them. Odegaard through to Saka. Saka changing direction. Gonna go for the finesse shot. Blocked again. Ball sent in. Raya coming out very far from the 6-yard box. Didn't necessarily love that, but that's okay. We get the ball back. That is where I'm concerned with this team, is definitely on the counter attack. Odegaard and Saka trying to link up over here. Not what I'm looking for, but that's okay. We'll stick with it. No, we won't. They have the ball. Got Martinelli potentially on a good run here. Marino finds him well. Kai Havertz. Oh, I was trying to send that more down the line. I can certainly say that Wolves are playing... Ooh, Saka gets his ankles broken. Wolves certainly are playing kind of how they would in real life, where they're just getting it up the field as fast as they can and not really worrying about keeping possession necessarily. That's going to do it for the first half. So we had one big chance with Martinelli. Wasn't able to finish it. Can't say I'm too surprised based off of his start this season in real life, but I do still have faith in him. Marino out here to Martinelli again. We don't really have a whole lot of help just yet. Martinelli sticking with it. It's going to fall to Marino. We're going to get that one out to Odegaard. Didn't like the flare, didn't need the flare necessarily. Too many players all in one spot. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to change that on the tactics. Martinelli and Saka can't both be inside forwards. It's just not going to work. Saka now with it. Saka with some room. Going to fall back to Odegaard. Every shot is being blocked right now. Should have got that to Saka maybe. Havertz with the shot. Sticks with it and gets the first goal of our season. Kai Havertz gives Arsenal the 1-0 lead in the 52nd minute. Martinelli skipping inside. We're going to find Havertz again. Going to have to take an early shot. And only 6 minutes later, we're going to increase our lead to 2. Kai Havertz with the brace. Martinelli with the assist. Switched up the tactics just a little bit, and Martinelli and Saka both look to be just a bit wider, which I think is going to be better for us. It was getting real congested in there. 2-0 lead over Wolves already. Ooh. They're going to be given a free kick due to a handball. Forgot that I have that on. It's in a dangerous position. And Gonzalo Guedes, I believe is how you say his name, with the goal from the free kick. Ah, man. Not much you can do about that one, I guess. I don't know how good this guy is at free kicks. But again, I know that, in FC24, free kicks were pretty overpowered for the CPU. They almost always made them, it felt like. So nothing David Raya can do about that one. It's going to be 2-1. Saka, we're going to wait on this run from Ben White. I'm going to send it out to him. I like the cross into Havertz, but it wasn't really to Havertz. And they're going to have the ball and could be on a counterattack here. Saliba, we need you here. Saliba, he's always there. No need to even worry about it. The pass wasn't great, but that's okay. Saka's now getting forward. Getting fouled, not getting called for it. And then turning it over. Nice. Saka again waiting for that run from Ben White. Something he's been known to do well. This time nowhere to go. We're going to turn it back to Saka. No one's stopping him. He's just going to keep going. Oh, great stop by Bentley. And it looks like it is going to go out for an Arsenal corner. And that'll give us time to get some subs on. So Trossard's got to make his debut this season. We might take off. Yeah, let's take off Ben White. He looks a little tired out there. Definitely running pretty slow out there, Ben White. We'll move Timber to right back and Calafiore to left back. And then we're also going to go ahead and get Thomas Partey on for Mikel Merino. Great debut for Mikel Merino. He looks to be a very, very good player for us. All right, Declan Rice sending in this corner. Bit too close to the keeper. He will collect. Wow, great ball in through that channel there to Chan. But unfortunately for him, Gabriel and Saliba are always going to be there. Not much this Wolves team could really do today. I mean, the free kick was pretty lucky, to be fair. A handball, which I could probably turn off. Let me know if you feel like I should turn that off. Saka. If Trossard wasn't the one at the back post, that would have been an incredible cross. Odegaard. Odegaard, don't lose out on it. Only 3 minutes of added time, so we are still in firm position to get 3 points here to start off this season. Thomas Partey is going to get taken out from behind. Referee plays advantage. I don't mind it. But we give away a possession anyways. As long as we don't give up a quick counterattack here, the referee should blow the whistle, and then he does. So it is a 2-1 victory for the Arsenal over Wolves on match day 1. Bukayo Saka was able to get 4 shots off today, but I don't know if any of them actually got past the wall, so we are going to have to encourage him. He did put in a good shift, but maybe need to perform better, maybe need to take better shots, I don't know. And Martin Odegaard was definitely very good today. Timber saying he's ready to play left back if that is part of the plan. Well, brother, I hate to break it to you, but you are a left back for us. I mean, you can play right back, but you are going to be left back for us. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Aston Villa game, and this is the probable lineup that they have. Pretty standard Aston Villa lineup. Morgan Rogers in midfield. He was the player that played the best in our real-life matchup between Arsenal and Aston Villa, and he was incredible. The youth tournament ends soon, so we might hop into the youth tournament, maybe at the end of this episode, maybe at the beginning of the next. This will likely be the last game of the episode. The team is fully fit. Let's hop back into it. And Wyatt tracking back to get a good tackle in. Havertz sending that ball over the top to Martinelli. Again, anybody but Martinelli or Trossard at the back post would probably do well for us, but those players aren't going to win many headers. Free kick for Aston Villa. 8 minutes into the game. This one seems a bit too far away to go for a shot, but Leon Bailey decided to anyways and just sends it way away from the goal. Martin Odegaard gets the ball back. Marino here on the edge of the box. Marino has room to shoot. Ooh, not a bad effort. 12 minutes gone. That is the best chance of the game so far. Saka down inside to Martin Odegaard. Doesn't have the greatest speed on him, but he is really good with his footwork. Saka cutting inside. Good save by Martinez. It'll go out for a corner. I mean, honestly, boys, so far, I have been impressed with this game. Declan Rice's hair looks wild right here. I have been impressed with this game so far. The simulation game type or whatever it's called definitely feels realistic. I mean, it feels like not everything's perfect all the time. Talking too much there and turn the ball over. But yeah, like I was saying, it just feels like everything's not so perfect all the time. Your players do mess up. The other team does mess up. Bukayo Saka again cannot finish. Martinez with another great save. Wow. Saliba, you're just going to let Ollie Watkins run right past you. Maybe he does that just so he can get the tackle. Yeah, I mean, he's insane. Odegaard going to switch play out here to Martinelli. Going to send the ball to Kai Havertz. Wasn't a good pass. Eddie Cash pushing forward for Villa, sending in a cross. Not a very good one, to say the least. But that's what I'm saying. Things like that. I mean, so far we've been making mistakes. They've been making mistakes. It doesn't feel like perfect football. And I feel like that's more realistic. And wide into Kai Havertz. Nowhere to go just yet. Oh, send that a little bit further up. Bukayo is in behind. Gabriel is going to be up for that header, so we can try to get back at them quickly. Del Marino out here to Saka. Got Odegaard making a run out behind us. Odegaard, stick with it. So far, we just haven't had any lucky breaks go our way. All right, only 2 minutes of added time is pretty much up. We actually might get one final chance. We're going to send this up to Kai Havertz quickly. Nobody's really with us just yet. We've got Mikel Merino. You're going to turn it around. Back into Saka. Saka with the shot, and Martinez with yet another save. And that'll be the end of the first half. So Bukayo Saka, 3 shots on target. Emi Martinez, 3 saves on those 3 shots on target. Oh, Bukayo Saka. They make a mistake, and Bukayo Saka will not miss it this time. Opening kickoff, Aston Villa makes a mistake in defense, and Saka makes them pay. He was never going to go 4 shots on target without scoring. And this is a great angle right there. Well, maybe not so great there at the end because you couldn't really tell what was going on. But makes a mistake there. I believe that's Ian Matson. And then, yeah, Saka with the easy finish. 1-0 Arsenal. A good football here by Aston Villa. Leon Bailey pushing forward. Gabriel momentarily had the ball. We finally get it. Lots of bodies falling around. Declan Rice going to end up with it, and we will eventually get it away. And White going to wait for Martin Odegaard in midfield. Don't really love any options just yet. Bukayo Saka now with it. Saka, it is going to end up with Martinelli. Martinelli will take a shot, and it will go just wide of the post. Odegaard nowhere to go just yet. Martinelli is going to be found yet again. Going to have Saka now. Going to have to turn it around. Might as well go for another shot. I mean, Martinez is hard to get past. He is a very, very good goalkeeper, Emi Martinez. But we're going to have another corner here. Going to be looking for Gabriel, hopefully, in the box. Martinez comes out and grabs it. Leon Bailey skipping past Urian Timber. Don't want to go in too hastily with a challenge. But that ball is going to find the feet of Mikel Merino. Can we get on a counterattack? Oh, wow, that ball actually was perfect to Ben White. Wasn't exactly what I was going for, but we will take it. Kai Havertz, nowhere to go just yet. We'll turn it back around. Kai Havertz, wish you would get in the box, please, my good sir. Martinelli, or not Martinelli, Martin Odegaard into Saka, and this time it is the post denying him. Odegaard, Havertz, Martinelli, blocked by Pau Torres. And we just cannot find a way to increase our lead against Aston Villa here. And for some reason, Gabriel is extremely tired, so we're going to get Calafiori on in that left center-back position instead of where we usually would at left back. Everybody else is pretty okay as far as stamina is concerned. Saka's had quite the day, so I'm going to go ahead and take him off, see what Raheem Sterling is looking like, and maybe get a second goal from him. Urian Timber, overlapping run. Can't find anybody. We could be in a little bit of trouble here. For some reason, the subs didn't go into effect off of that throw-in, so that's interesting. Leon Bailey gets that ball back. Gabriel out to him. Gabriel, another interception. Oh, I love that, man. Pause. All right, our subs will finally come into effect here in the 81st minute. Going to get those two players on. Hopefully, they're going to be able to keep us in the lead. Like I said, Raheem Sterling, I would love to get him a goal. Buendia out here, Ben White all over him. Ben White, one of my favorite Arsenal players. He is so good. But in this game does feel a bit slow, which, I mean, it makes sense. In real life, he is definitely very slow sometimes. We're on a little break here. Martin Odegaard skipping past one man. Gonna send it across the field here. Wow. Oh, Sterling could have been in if he would have just kept following the run behind us. No need to get too crazy here. We do have the lead, so we just need to make sure to protect it. I say that as I turn it over. Only 2 minutes of added time. Sending that ball up top maybe was the wrong decision there. But it doesn't matter because the referee is going to not allow them to move forward. We will come to Villa Park, and the fans don't look excited there for some reason, but we get a clean sheet, we get the win, and we get 3 massive points. And Bukayo Saka with the lone goal in that game. So now it's Kai Havertz with 2 goals and Saka with 1 himself. Let's take a look at some of the stats around the league. We'll take a look at the player stats real quick. Heung-min Son with 3 goals in 2 games so far. Sammy Schmadix at Ipswich is having a great start to the season. You can see Kai Havertz there, technically in 4th place. Erling Haaland, only 2 goals from 2 games so far this year, so that's a pretty good return for the rest of the league. Maybe not for his standards necessarily. And then as assists goes, Alexander Isak and Joe Linton both have 2. The clean sheets, only 4 clean sheets so far, and David Raya has 1 of them. Should have had 2. That free kick was just kind of crazy. So let's go ahead and see where that puts us in the table. Looks like we are currently in 5th place. Still getting used to this new system, so using the bumper and things like that. Newcastle currently in 1st. 7 goals scored and 1 allowed, so a 6-goal difference. And we're going to be fighting for the 4th place spot with Nottingham Forest as of right now. Obviously, only 2 games into the season. We're not too worried about where we're at in the standings as long as we get 3 points from every game. That's all that really matters. But in the next episode, we're going to have the Brighton game. We're going to have the Tottenham game. We'll have the Champions League game against Atalanta, and we will likely have the Man City game as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you're still watching, please be sure to like the video, Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave your comments about how you feel about the team, how you feel about Arsenal, how you feel about FC25 and the career mode, and all the new features that you see. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.